in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance.
JAK and DAXTER is a series I've always had mixed feelings about. The gameplay is certainly good, especially for its time, and it brought a kind of scope to the platform genre you didn't really see before. But at the same time, I mean, what the f*** is this thing?
What? Okay, I'm fine.
And so it was with a cautious optimism that I hyped myself up for this JAK and DAXTER collection, the PS2 classics remastered in HD and released on a single disc for the PlayStation 3. Unfortunately, I was almost immediately reminded why the JAK games received such adoration last generation, and I mean, they still play very well. But as for its protagonist and titular character, I mean, he looks like something you'd find in the trash can at a furry convention. Anyway, we've decided to take a look at these HD remakes one by one, and we're starting with this, the first JAK and DAXTER, the Precursor Legacy. It's strange to think this game's already a decade old, but especially in HD, it certainly doesn't show its age. This is like the Jennifer Aniston of platformers. You play as some pointy-eared anime reject with an annoying meerkat for a partner. Now, there's nothing Jennifer Aniston about that, but fortunately, what JAK and DAXTER lack in charm, they more than make up for with their gameplay. The Precursor Legacy holds up as a great action platformer, and the fresh coat of paint has really revitalized it. If you've never played the original, JAK and DAXTER is a platformer in the vein of the classics that emerged in the late 90s. Think Banjo-Kazooie meets Mario 64 with added action elements, and you basically have JAK and DAXTER, but that's not to say the game didn't make some contributions of its own. One of the things you notice when you come back to this game is how seamless its world is. JAK and DAXTER takes Mario's idea of collecting an amount of stars per level, but the catch is that those levels aren't self-contained. It's one complete game world with individual areas, all of which tie together in both theme and practice. Now, of course, things are a bit less ambitious in terms of its gameplay. You're going to collect lots of different amounts of lots of different things, you're going to do some minor platforming, you're going to run around a big 3D world. As is common with many of the platformers of the era, it does feel just a little dated, but, I mean, to be frank, the appeal of JAK and DAXTER isn't necessarily the originality of what you're doing, but how smooth and polished it is. And polished certainly applies to its HD remake. This game looks gorgeous, so much so in fact that you wonder how it ever ran on a PlayStation 2 in the first place. These games really pushed Sony's hardware last generation, and the fruits of that labor are more evident than ever in this upscaled form. I've never been much for its character design, but the environments are more stunning than ever on the PS3. If you were a fan of the JAK games last generation, you'll be pleased to know they're a lot of fun to revisit in HD. And in fact, I think the Precursor Legacy is especially good, but stay tuned for our take on the other two games in the remastered, high-definition, fancy-schmancy JAK and DAXTER collection.